Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. And yes, I took the day off yesterday. I was in Franschhoek, which is a beautiful village in South Africa. It's one of our most beautiful villages, and they have a literary festival annually, and I was there for a while, having a great deal of fun. I'm back at the tarot table, and I have the Tinseltown Tarot on the table today because we are back, not quite in Hollywood, we are back in Montecito. Madame has returned from Nigeria. She left the crew of her cooking show unexpectedly, unannounced, and disappeared to Nigeria for that whirlwind tour, but she's back. We expect she's back in the kitchen. And we're hearing rumours. Rumours, first of all, from Celebrity Days and Nights that, and I'm quoting, the first word on the cooking project is that it isn't good. And they go on to say that it's not as bad as Brooklyn Beckham. That's pretty low, Brooklyn Beckham. But it's still robotic and fake. So we're going to do a Celtic cross. Look at this from Netflix's point of view. How is it going? How is her performance in the kitchen? Is it robotic and fake? Are they covering their eyes, as I had to do when I tried to watch Brooklyn Beckham cook? Famously, he spent something like $100,000 a show. And the show was all of 8 minutes long online. He didn't actually have a slot on any of the networks, as far as I can tell, and it did fizzle out because it was so bad. It was pitiful. But he's not a hateable character. He's just talentless, sort of gormless, lost soul, nepo baby. Meghan, on the other hand, a whole different kettle of fish, I suppose, as a cooking metaphor of sorts. So we're going to do, as I say, Celtic cross. We're going to look at this from Netflix's point of view. There were rumours that the Parkles are trying to renegotiate the Netflix deal and squeeze some more years out of Netflix. I'm sure we'll hear more about that, and we'll look at that. But today, we're just looking at the cooking and how's it going? Not from Meghan's point of view, from Netflix's point of view. And of course, it's just tarot. It's for fun and entertainment. It's my opinion. And it's all speculation and just energy that I read here. And of course, there is a disclaimer in the box below. We have the Chariot in reverse as our underlying energy. That's a roadblock, a stoppage, the wheels coming off, even someone who's over ambitious. The Chariot is very much about ambition and drive and going after what you want single-mindedly. But it's in reverse. So that tells me that Meghan might have over-egged the situation. She might have thought that she was better in the kitchen than she is. She, of course, was involved with Corey, the famous Canadian chef, allegedly lifted some of his recipes and claimed them as her own. That's just rumour. I'm not sure if that is true. But she did rate herself as a foodie when she was doing the TIG, and she has been seen on episodes of various cooking programs, tasting things, sampling things, interviewing people. And yes, I think the words robotic and fake would describe those performances. Of course, the famous performances, grilling the burger patty and trying to look seductive while she was doing it. It was terribly clunky and robotic and fake. Of course, just my opinion, but there we have the Chariot in reverse. So it's not going well. We're looking at it from Netflix's point of view. Chariot in reverse. Tell us the situation that they have on their hands right now. And we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. You're going to get the giggles. And the Ace of Wands is very much a passion project when it's upright. Something that's exciting, that everyone can get behind. New idea. Let's rally around. Let's get this going. It's very creative, inspirational, sexy, all of those things. It's in reverse. So this is a damp squib, if ever there was one. And I'm trying to choose polite words that I can use on YouTube. which is why I often go silent and and ah. Well, I and ah the best of times, but it does make life even more tricky when you have to navigate the senses out here. But Ace of Wands in reverse, a damp squib, something that is definitely not interesting, it's definitely not creative, it's not unusual. In this overtraded market, you need something that distinguishes you from everyone else. A point of difference. There is no point of difference here with the Ace of Wands in reverse. Boring, bland, robotic and fake. I think we're there with the Ace of Wands in reverse. We're absolutely there. It's also telling me that she herself might have lost interest in this project already, which is mind-blowing, that she has these opportunities and, oh well, I'm going to chuck it in and go to Nigeria because it's not, I'm not doing that well. I can see from the way people are, you know, what I'm seeing on screen. Let's just disappear. Let's give it up like the jam. What's the problem? The problem is the moon. Confusion, doubt, always a little cray-cray in these readings in particular. Somebody who doesn't really know their own mind. That's what's coming through from that card for me now. That she's just really doesn't know what she's doing in the kitchen. Looks confused, looks clumsy and awkward. She's projecting strange energy. She could be trying to channel someone else. That's a very strange thought that's coming through here. But the moon can be inauthentic because it's about projection. So if you haven't processed all your inner stuff and figured out who you are as an authentic human being, it gets projected. So her own stuff could be projected, and she does seem to over-identify with other celebrities. Of course, Princess Diana, but various others. She could be trying to channel someone else who's a very successful celebrity chef. And there are all kinds, from Martha Stewart down to that young one, and I can't remember her name now, but she's incredibly well endowed, shall we say. She's very, I'm going to use the X-y word with the S, absolutely sensational, and Meghan can never compete against that. I wish I could remember her name, but it's just not in my mind at the moment. So what's going on behind the scenes with this show? And we have the Ace of Pentacles. Money, need money, the merching. This is why they're doing it. They're doing it because they're trying to launch American Riviera Orchard, the brand, the lifestyle brand. They're trying to merge food, household items, things like that. I read the list again today because of this rumor that the contract, they're trying to extend the contract, the Parkles, and get Netflix excited about it, and try and convince Netflix that they can make tons of money out of product from this show. And that's what that Ace of Pentacles is about. So there are conversations around this. Netflix isn't going to say no to the potential to make huge amounts of money, especially as the Parkles have cost them so much money already. So the conversations are going around money, new deals. Who can we get on board? Rumor has it even the governor has a wine brand of his own that he would like to merch on American Riviera Orchard, have a chat over a glass of wine on the show. Things like that are going on behind the scenes. Money talks. So goals for Netflix with this. Expectations, really. Queen of Cups. They're hoping that somehow, miraculously, Meghan is a popular host of this show. I don't know how much cooking she's going to be doing when I see that picture of the lady planted in the cocktail glass. Perhaps she is just going to swan around with a glass in her hand in her ball gown while somebody else toils at the stove. It's possible. Harry, Omid, plastic does melt, overheat, so it might be tricky for Omid. But someone might be stirring the pots. Doria, I don't know, Marcus, who's left? But somebody might be doing the actual cooking while Megan swans around. Perhaps it's the celebrity friends that come along and cook, and Megan just has a chat while they are busy. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting, because it's supposed to be friends, and the Queen of Cups is friendly, chatty, somebody you can confide in, tell your story to, popular, as I say, a sympathetic ear. And they are hoping that people like her. They like the stories that come out. They like the friendship angle. That's what they are hoping. That's what their mind is on. That is not a lady that knows how to cook. Pretty obvious. So how has it been going so far? And so far, 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. That's disaster territory. Remember, we have the Chariot in reverse as well as our underlying energy. So roadblock, overambitious, not working out. 5 of Pentacles in reverse is telling me, I'm just reminding myself of that card. 5 of Pentacles in reverse is telling me that they don't have money for whatever they need, or it might be costing too much money. She might not be having the response from the celebrity friends that she was hoping for. She did, of course, sell herself to people with her contacts, her connections. She sold herself to Netflix on that basis, allegedly, that she was friends with some big names and she could get those, but or not Netflix, Spotify. I knew I had mixed them up. Allegedly sold herself to Spotify on that basis, that she was friends with all these huge names and she could get them all onto her podcast. Same thing. It's the same vibe I'm getting with that 5 of Pentacles in reverse. The 5 of Pentacles is the card of being shunned, being outcast and exiled and broke and ruined, left out in the cold. It's in reverse. It tells me that she is a social pariah in Hollywood and in Montecito. We saw that Gwyneth Paltrow had that very pointed dinner party with the calligraphy, handwritten menu, and all of Meghan's friends invited, and American Riviera on the handwritten menu. And then friends who had received jam were invited to Gwyneth Paltrow's and showed up and had the photo opportunity with Gwyneth Paltrow. That's the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Meghan is a social outcast. She's been trying, because the card is in reverse, she's been trying to reform those connections and phone people who have changed their phone numbers and say, remember me, I'm doing a cooking show now, and come along and cook, and I'll swan about in a ball gown while you're cooking and we can have a chat and I can make tons of money. How about that? Little scenario that is, of course, all in my head with a little bit of snark. But that 5 of Pentacles in reverse doesn't bode well, because it tells me that nobody is falling for this. Nobody wants to show up on the show. We're going to look in the next reading at one big name and see if they might possibly be coerced or co-opted into appearing on the show. What's coming next? How's it going to go in future? We've got the Page of Cups in reverse, disappointing, a letdown. We might get big names that say no with that Page of Cups. It is friendly energy. Cups are emotions, so they are connections, emotional connections. It's messaging because it's a page. Somebody might tone her down. Somebody might say, it's really not going to work out for me. That somebody could even be Netflix. Netflix could say this is really not working. It's not connecting with its audience. We don't think it's going to connect with its audience, that Page of Cups. Somebody could let somebody down there. I am reading this from Netflix's point of view. But it might be that they let Megan down, that they say, we're really not loving this. We're testing it, and our trial audiences aren't loving it. And oops. What do they think of her performance so far down here? I didn't expect such a bad card, and especially as you know, celebrity days and nights. Well, I think he pretty much makes stuff up, but he's been exposed, he's been outed, so everybody knows who he is, and he doesn't really have contacts. The lawyer behind NT, as far as I can tell, and from what I read around and about, but that is as bad as it is possible to be. The Tower card. This is calamity. It's appalling. It's worse than Brooklyn Beckham. I don't know if it's costing $100,000 an episode, as his did, for all of 8 minutes online, but this is disaster. This is disaster that's striking right at the top of Netflix. Heads could actually roll as a result of how bad this performance is, because that lightning is striking the top of that tower, where the boss sits, right up there, and it's sending shivers all the way down this tower, and the tower actually collapses when that lightning strikes. It's that bad. Her performance is shocking, literally shocking, because it is the card of shock horror. So I think robotic and fake is really underplaying the situation. What pressure on Netflix under? And we have the 10 of Wands in reverse. They want to drop this. They want this contract to just run out. Just let it go, let it disappear. It's the 10 of Wands. It is, I'm trying to read the writing on this card. It is about burdens. It's about being saddled with something you don't want, the 10 of Wands. Something that's just getting heavier and heavier as you trudge along, sadly by yourself, carrying this burden. And when the card is in the reverse, you just eventually think, I can't do this anymore. I'm putting this burden down. I give up. I quit. I'm out of here. And they want this to end. They don't see any future for it. That Page of Cups. Letting down gently, because I think there is a personal connection between Megan and what's that guy's name? Ted, the head of Netflix. And so it's got to be done in a way that doesn't result in litigation, for instance, or tears and tantrums and running to People magazine or whatever and saying terrible things. Because I think at this point and at this level of intimacy, I don't mean intimacy in the S with an X way, I just mean friendships, knowing each other, spending time in people's homes. You learn stuff about people. You don't want that stuff coming out. That's the vibe I'm getting. They really would love to drop this, but they're cautious about how they go about dropping it, because the Parkles are litigious, and she does snoop around allegedly and find stuff out about people. Allegedly. It's always been the story that's circulated about her, that don't let her into your house, because you never know where you might find her. And also, according to these rumors, these are old stories, you don't know what might disappear. Those are just rumors, so I'm just repeating rumors, and we are checking the energy around them. Let's throw the word in archetypal as well. Why not? Archetypal energy. Hopes and fears for Netflix. 2 of Wands. They're hoping that this partnership, business partnership, 2 of Wands, they're hoping that this partnership produces something of value, because it is planning, it is a joint venture, it is something. When you've got 2 of Wands in a reading, you're optimistic about the partnership, business partnership here, creative partnership, because it's Wands, and Wands are the creative energy in tarot. So they are hoping that against all the odds, the Chariot in reverse, the Tower card, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse, the Moon card. All of this, they're hoping that something positive comes out of this little co-production. But it's a very small hope. It's only Two of Wands. How's it going to go ultimately? Is it all going to suddenly come right and turn into a sensational hit? It could even be for the wrong reasons, that people hate watch and love it because it's so bad. Like that movie George Clooney was in all those years ago, something about tomatoes. It turned into a cult hit. Could it become a cult hit against all perceived wisdom? What's going to happen? We get the Eight of Wands. That is energy that's coming up a lot as outcome energy in these parkour readings. At the moment on this channel. It's not telling me it's going to be a huge success. It's telling me we're going to get a lot of PR about it. We're going to get a lot of stories about it. It is going to stream. I would say with that Eight of Wands, they are going to stream it because it is streaming energy, very much the Eight of Wands. But we're going to get puff pieces about it. We have been warned, and I will read on it in the coming days. We have been warned that Meghan is going to have what is being described as the summer of love. She's going to be all over the place. There's going to be interviews. She's going to be on podcasts, TV shows. She's going to be talking about her brand. She's going to be launching her brand. It's going to be relentless. This is that relentless PR energy. It's not telling me that it's going to be wildly popular and it's going to make millions and it's going to be the most successful thing that Netflix has ever had, like Spare was allegedly for Penguin Random House. But it's not giving me failure energy. It's just telling me it's happening. And that is energy that I have had in the past few days on this channel with similar kinds of questions. So we have the Chariot in reverse, disaster unfolding. We have the Tower, her performance is atrocious. We have the Five of Pentacles, people don't want to have anything to do with it. The Ace of Wands in reverse, it's terrible, it's boring, it's nothing fresh about it. But Netflix is just, we've got aces in this reading that I cannot ignore. This Ace of Pentacles, they want their money out of this situation. They're hoping that she's popular. They might have to say some things to let her down easy. There might just be in that Eight of Wands two sides of the story that we hear about later on. Because it's messaging, it's usually messages that come and go, like rapid fire emails or WhatsApp messages or something like that. It could be a bit of a tit for tat energy in there. That's just what's coming through for me today as a reader. So I'm just sharing that with you. That is your reading, and thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.